Oh, I did want to. So when we mentioned the list, I want to talk about some of the highlights from the list.
Oh, yeah.
And then things I know there's some people who are off of that list that didn't make the list that I'm like, that's gag.
Well, let's start with your issues with the list.
Okay.
Let's start with that.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I am good. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. This is Brunch, Blaze, and Battle,
Where we eat, elevate, and talk about
media trends from the past,
the present,
and the future
from a Black perspective.
I'm your host, Roger Turner.
And I'm your host, Alexis Bertrand.
So sit back,
Spark up,
and let's get into it. Hey, Alexis.
Hey, Roger, baby. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am so good today.
Good. I'm remembering to put my lip on this microphone because you be so much louder than me.
Put your lip on the microphone, baby. Put your lip on the microphone. I am not touching that one. We just started talking. I am not about to be mannish. First thing on this episode. You made that too easy.
Put your lips on the mic.
I can't do it today. I can't do it.
How was your brunch?
Brunch was so good. So you ever just like, you probably do, like, I was just really craving a salad. I wanted something that was like refreshing and crisp. It's been summer. It's been swampy here in New York. And I just really wanted a really good salad. And I just made one. It was just perfect. It had like my cherry tomatoes. I like olives. I'm a fan of those. Banana peppers, carrots. Like, it was just so good. Grilled chicken salad. It was just perfect. Exactly what I wanted for the summer.
Awesome.
Yeah, dope stuff.
What
about you? What'd you have?
Nothing different. I had my vegetable smoothie and I had a tuna salad on top of some greens.
Honestly, I think the more we keep talking, you keep talking about these smoothies and these medleys that you drink. Like, I'm starting to do a little research on Amazon because they can be really refreshing, particularly because I exercise a lot and I just want something. I don't want water. I love water, but I don't want it. I don't want to just reach for orange soda, like, but I just want something that's like still good for my body.
Well, yeah, we keep frozen fruit in the refrigerator.
Yeah, be ready. You're just ready. I love that.
Yeah, you can make yourself a nice little sorbet.
Okay. Come on, sorbet.
A little sorbet.
That's you. I don't cook. You the barefoot contestant. I don't cook like that. That's you. That's
that
you and your
bitch
husband.
was nasty. I
Not nasty.
never liked her cooking.
That bitch was nasty.
She would not wash her hands.
Why are your hands not clean, Contessa?
I never like her food. But anyway.
Damn.
Scale of 1 to 10, where are you?
I'm at 7.5. I'm feeling good. 7.5 right there.
I'm at a 6.
Oh.
I'm at a 6.
Okay.
It's a cool 6. I'll be all right.
You'll be up there. You'll be up there soon
It
enough.
will climb. You want to tell the people what we're talking about today?
So, brunches, y'all. Okay, about some time ago.
A month.
About a month ago, Billboard put out this list.
Billboard.
Maybe it's not 7.5. Billboard put out this list of 75 greatest R&B singers of all time. Now, y'all know we like a good list. We like to see what the people are thinking, what's the pulse, and we know that this was picked by their staff. Now, before we get into it, I'm just gonna let me preface this by saying I have a lot of respect for this list. Because I feel like over here at the BBB, we know R&B music, okay? We know R&B music, okay? So a lot of this is like, I like some of the names I saw, but baby, there's some disrespect on here. And it's some foolishness we need to address.
I mean, okay.
With my soul.
I had a couple of issues with it. I don't know if we'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But that got me thinking. Since we know R&B so well, that we should do our R&B list of greatest artists. Now, we ain't doing all 75 because we'll be here all day.
Yeah,
but we're going to do our top 10. So, this episode is entitled R&B According to BBB. Eat that. Get into it. You want to get into it. I know you want to get to it. Yes, R&B According to BBB.
Okay. So I think it's time for us to
pull back that curtain. Come on, pull back this curtain now.
Okay, so I did a little research on just who Billboard magazine was. Okay,
come on now. I love this.
I knew Billboard magazine was old, but I didn't realize Billboard was this old.
How old are we talking?
All right, so these two guys in Cincinnati, Ohio, William Donaldson and James Hennigan, decide to go into business together. And so they decided to publish this publication made up mostly of advertisements and flyers
Okay.
in 1894.
What?
The first issue of Billboard was on November 1st of 1894.
Bitch, you lying. You are lying to my face. Give me my bag. What?
Back then, it was called Billboard advertising. And at the time, billboards, posters, and flyers were like the heart of advertising. That's how you knew shit was going on. There wasn't no social, nobody social, no internet, no TV.
There was none of that.
Not even radio. So
I think we were still on Pony Express, right?
Yeah. So bill posting was like big business back then. So they created this magazine. But what made Billboard advertising at the time, this ad book set itself apart is that it had a couple of extra things in it. It had 2 columns added to every issue. The one column was called the Bill Room Gossip. Okay. And the other one was called The Indefatigable and Tireless Industry of Bill Poster. The Indefatigable and Tireless Industry of the Bill Poster. So those are the 2 columns. So one was like a gossip about the bill posting business, and then the other one was like the insider like industry. It was like an industry column about the industry.
Okay, I like this.
So there was some reading that you could do with the magazine. In 1897, the publication was renamed The Billboard because they
a little rebranding and
and
what year was this? 1900?
This was 1897.
1897. We do a little rebranding.
They renamed themselves The Billboard. In 1900, Donaldson bought his partner Hennigan out of his interest of the business to save it from bankruptcy. It wasn't clear on why it was going bankrupt, but there's a couple of theories around that. But Donaldson also had a vision. So Hennigan was like in charge of like all the printing, and Donaldson was in charge of like all the content that went into the magazine.
Gotcha.
And so it was Donaldson who had changed the magazine from a monthly paper to a weekly paper. And with the new frequency, the publication could now like focus on breaking news. And so he improved the editorial quality, like hired new writers, and then opened new offices in New York, Chicago, and San Francisco, and London.
Okay, come on.
I'm sorry, and London and Paris. And so he refocused the magazine to deal with like, it's 1900, so they were dealing with outdoor entertainment. So the concert industry was basically fairs, carnivals, circuses, burlesque shows. These were all the things that were like covered because, turn of the 20th century shit. So
that makes sense.
There was even a section that was like devoted to circuses that was introduced in 1900, and that started to draw a lot of attention because circus was it.
It was the thing. Yeah, that's right.
It had more prominent coverage of like outdoor events. They had topics around regulation, professionalism, and economics, and new shows. So they were really reporting on not just the shows, but actually the industry of show business at the time.
It's really getting into like the pop culture side of things. Like
exactly. He even had a section that was called Stage Gossip.
Yeah, see, like all of the stuff in the rumor mills. I can see this.
Unfortunately, because it was the circus era, there was also a subsection called the Freaks to Order. So also talking about freak shows.
Freaks to Order, if you want to buy you some poom poom.
No.
You said Freaks to Order.
Yes.
Girl. I was just like, what are we doing?
No, it was the early century circus industry. So early turn of the century circus industry made abused handicapped people.
Oh shit! You right? Like yeah.
So
okay.
So
Jesus. Okay.
There was a subsection.
That's a mess.
Donaldson was also published news articles. He also published news articles opposing censorship, supporting production exhibits debates with good taste.
Really leaning into his First Amendment right, I see.
And also rejecting what was called back then yellow journalism, which was considered
like smear campaigning shit.
Yeah, salacious smear campaigning.
To discredit somebody else's. Oh my God, this is interesting. I didn't know they had this history.
Yeah, he did. He was really a man ahead of his time, which is why Billboard became what it became.
Mm-hmm.
In 1920, though, Donaldson controversially hired a journalist by the name of James Albert Jackson.
Okay.
And the hiring was controversial because when Donaldson hired Jackson, he became the first black critic of a national magazine with a predominantly white audience.
1920.
In 1920. Donaldson knew that in order to make sure that he covered like black entertainment, he needed a black writer. So,
who would have thought? How hard? The math on that was very simple for him, wasn't it? Jesus.
So, but let's not praise him too much because that writer was probably only regulated to black entertainment.
I mean, yeah.
And according to his grandchildren, Donaldson would also eventually establish a policy against identifying performers by their race. Billboard changed focus a lot, mainly because of technology. You guess what things were invented that changed the technology?
Telephone, television.
What would change its focus to music?
Oh, radio.
And the phonograph.
Yes.
Phonograph and radio started to become more and more popular. And even before like radio, the jukebox.
Became
a thing. So one of the things that was being monitored was like, hey, the records that people were buying or the records that were being played in jukeboxes. So they started changing their focus toward that. They also, in 1907, started following films, but they didn't want to compete with variety, which was becoming really big. So they decided to exclusively focus on music. So Billboard published its first music hit parade on January 4th, 1936.
Wow.
And introduced a record buying guide in 1939. By the 1940s, Billboard was more of a music industry specialist publication. The number of charts that it published grew after World War II, and new music interests and genres became popular. It had 8 charts by 1987, covering different genres and formats, and 28 by 1994.
And I love that because I think generationally, here we are, we're showing up as teenagers and we're getting into this. Music was big. There was a lot of, especially when you think about MTV in the early 80s into the late 80s, where there's this huge boom in like that they hadn't seen in music since the quote unquote British invasion. And so now here we are with all these lists and all these charts, and like it's just a part of that kind of musical pop culture.
I can't let this go. Like after the Donaldson's descendants sold the company to private investors, Billboard changed hands a lot. Like
I can imagine
a lot. It changed more times than Nick Cannon Got Kids. It was a lot.
That many?
It was a lot.
That's a few now.
It moved a lot, but every time it got bought by someone, there was another facet to the company that it built. Like it got bought by magazine conglomerates, which changed its literary value. It got bought by tech giants and information giants, which changed how it gathered its data.
Yeah.
Like there was.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
There was there was one marketing organization that they were involved in that changed how Billboard started collecting record sales. So record sales, before they had the technology, they were dependent upon the reports of record stores.
Literally somebody in there counting it and then reporting it out. Relying heavily on that. That's crazy.
That's
crazy. That's just what
they
it was.
were bought by a different company that was able to report on which records were scanned at the register.
And
that's how they were able to, and that had to be the 80s. I know because they did an episode about it on Gemini Holograms.
Not throwing in a Gemini Holograms reference. You better be.
It was definitely, because I saw that episode. I was like, oh, this must have been when that happened. But yeah, they've been authority ever since. And, they've built their genres. They've built more recognition of women. There's in the 1990s when listicles or articles that center lists became really popular.
Yeah.
That's when they started doing all of these different lists on top of their charts, outside of their charts, where they pull music and music journalists, experts together around a genre and build these lists. So, and then that's what they did today. This actual list, the 75 best R&B artists of all time, is the second time they've done the best R&B list. They did one back in 2015.
Yes, they did.
And they wanted to celebrate Black Music Month last month. This was one of the reasons why they wanted to make sure they had this out. So they put together a list of 75. I looked up all the staff writers. There were some heavy hitter staff writers.
Yeah, there really was. There really was.
Yeah, so the staff writers were great. They had a full team of Black writers. I did a breakdown here. There were 12 writers that were all the ones that were deliberating on who was on the list. There was 3 women, 9 men. All of them were Black except for 3 white men and 1 Latino.
Okay, thank you for that. I had no idea that they were such an authority for almost like 140-ish years since the original publication till I think you said they became really well known for their music data and that kind of work and sharing those kind of stories. You said 1940,
By
so
1940,
really was that 85 years?
Yeah, so by
they've really been.
1940 was the time that they became like.
I think this is fascinating, right? So it's like, for all intents and purposes, like this is a legitimate company. When they put out these lists, it's not just like some random person who just listens to their playlist and put this out here. Like they really are thoughtful about it. It just sounds like, from given the legacy of this company to where they are now, like there was some thought that was really put into this.
Like I was ready to like go in on them like we went on the Grammys and everybody else. But then I did my research and I was like, no, they already know what they're doing. They pulled some stuff together.
Yeah.
I want to run through, before we talk about anything else, I wanted to run through the criteria that they laid out.
Yes, please do. I was going to ask you. Yeah.
All right. So Billboard staffers agreed on the following criteria: vocal prowess, body of work, career longevity, industry achievements. Remember that one. I feel like this is a major factor.
Yep.
Game-changing influence and enduring generational/cultural impact.
Yeah.
So I feel like, well, we can talk about that later, but I just remember that in industry achievements.
Yeah, so want to get into it before?
Yeah, let's get into it.
So I think let's talk about that, right? Because I feel like particularly when it comes to like career longevity, obviously I think about those artists who might have passed away who made the list. Like obviously they're not creating more, or they're more than likely more new music by them won't be published. And I just felt like, as much as I have so much respect for this list, and I do, and I'll get to the details of it, I just felt like, giving the factors that you listed, I think what I had to ask myself is, what would be more important to me? Or like, right? Because vocal prowess is important, body of work, career longevity, industry achievements. I feel like as I was going through making my list, I was really hanging on the game-changing influence, maybe a bit more than some industry achievements. And I'm going to get to that with a very specific example when we start breaking this down. But I felt like I was hanging more on like game-changing influence. Because when I think about R&B music, which is such a huge fabric, it literally is, outside of gospel and Christian music, it was the first other genre of music that I opened my ears to when I met the world, right? Like even before hip hop, which was still super, super young. Here I am, a kid in the 80s. Hip hop was very much a baby, still being birthed and figured out and coming out in places. There was a few records there because I think hip hop was 1978. So here we are in the 80s, and every record I hear, if it wasn't a choir, it was a soul record, a quote unquote soul record, or an R&B record. And it really, that became like the playlist, if you will, the soundtrack of like my childhood and my early years in Buffalo. and whatnot. So, and I think all of us, I love when I hear an old school song, I can remember where I was at and like just the musicality of it and like it spoke to purpose and passion and power and pain and all of that great stuff. And I think, and I bring that up because I feel like I've been hearing more and more people some artists are online on social media saying how like R&B music is dying. I feel like that argument comes around every so often, like R&B is dying, and I think it's not. I don't think it. I think we're conflating it not being this lifeblood that it used to be because it's competing with other popular artists who might be in other popular genres. But to think that there's not artists and young musicians who are still carrying this mantle of like R&B is like ludicrous to me. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like we know, for example, Black people have always existed, say, in country music. It wasn't just Beyonce, and now all those artists were legitimized and already there before Cowboy Carter even came out, right? And so it's like the same thing here. Just because right now maybe the masses is into a Gaga, and no offense to a Gaga, or they're looking at, I don't know, Billy Blank. What's not Billy Blanks? Who that boy that like to flip around? Billy. You know, he literally
Boone.
He and that fool. He like to hear him. I said Billy Blanks. That's our best.
Come on, Tybo.
Come on, Tybo. I just think sometimes we conflate popularity with like, oh, the genre must be dying because it's not number one in everything. Because I honestly think that the people who did top this list, by the way, were the few people who could do that.
Right.
And I think that that goes back to that whole game-changing influence that they had. Everybody can't be a top artist and be an R&B artist.
Yeah, and that's the thing for me is that one of the things that I think a lot of the R&B artists that are on here on this greatest list most of them are crossover artists.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Which, there's a reason for that, and I'm gonna tell you why that is later.
Okay. So okay. Then I guess I want to talk about what's good about the list.
Sure, let's talk about what's good about the list.
So what's good about the list, y'all, and you just go Google it, right? You can just Google it and look at this list. Actually, you know what? It might be cute if you Google and look at this list while we're having this conversation.
Yeah.
Because we're looking at it right now.
Yeah, so like this list, the writing on here is excellent.
Oh my God.
The write-ups,
yes.
Because it's several different, it's 12 different like R&B hip-hop music journalists.
Yep.
Veterans.
Yes.
All of them. And they're really great writers.
That was really...
And there's some really great, thorough...
It took me like 90 minutes or so.
Yeah.
But I felt every artist got a bit of respect.
Every artist got a bit of respect. Those that didn't need respect, they got their
flowers too.
They got the little drag too.
Yeah.
But they also like I love the little snippet of like not everybody knows who Ruth Brown is. So
yes.
I love that on every artist they have like a reference song that you can go to and like listen to that person's song, so you get a feel of like what that person sounds like.
Yes.
So if you didn't know who Ruth Brown was, you could go back and listen. I knew who Ruth Brown was.
Like I know who Ruth Brown is. Like so artists like that. That's one of the things I want to champion about this list, right? So like her, Peabo Bryson, like these are named. There was another one that I thought was really cool to see on here that not many people often think about. Like they might know a Peabo Bryson song before they know his name. It was great, like Otis Redding.
Right.
A lot of people talk about Bill Withers, but like Otis Redding and to include those kinds of people, it's like, I've really been thinking about this.
Peabo Bryson, like in this write-up, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. He has 2 #1 Disney songs.
Period.
And I was like, wait, he does?
He does.
And I had to go back and I was like, yes, he did A Whole New World.
And we can stop right there.
He did A Whole New World with Regina Bell, who is not on this list, and I was tight about.
Now we're gonna get to that in a second. Who's not on this list? That's some bullshit.
We're gonna get back to that. With A Whole New World with Regina Bell and Beauty and the Beast with Celine Dion.
Like
voice
iconic.
Peabo been out here singing.
What? Singing songs, having us crying in theaters and shit.
Yeah, I love seeing Tevin on here.
Oh my God, they gave Tevin his flowers, and I just thought that was so So beautiful.
Jasmine and Jill absolutely needed to be on here. I loved every last.
And you see greats like Natalie Cole, Donna Summer, Gladys Knight, of course.
There were some great. You know what I forgot to mention is that the things that disqualified. So they also said that, we named all the criteria, but they also said songwriting was not a major deciding factor, and singers best known for fronting groups versus their solo work was also not included.
Okay, so you can kiss my entire ass on that one because we said artists. You didn't say singers. And this is artistry, right?
They're explaining to you where
I know, and I'm like to me that it doesn't make it unfair when you're talking about an artist, and so because many of these songs when we talk about that game changing influence, part of that the game changing influence was I'm writing these tracks, so it's like we're not just singing songs, getting a little bit of the pie, and then the producers and the songwriters get more money than the artists. Like, no, it's like you could almost watch us kind of inch into like these major record labels and these deals. Like we go from the singer to the writer to the producer. Like we understand there's an artistry behind it. And to negate that, like I get where they're coming from. I don't think I could do that, particularly when I think about who ended up in my top.
All right, so let me just get to where I'm going with this, is that I respect what they did with this list. Because I know that when they talk about industry achievements, they're not just talking about Grammys. Every last artist on here has charted on Billboard. And I think part of making this list valid, making them make Billboard credible, I don't think it would have been okay for them to like put, I don't think Billboard itself, the magazine, would have been happy if you create any list and put some artist on there that we haven't charted. And this is I think that's why this is skewed, is that because Billboard charting is heavily considered in all of these.
Yes, but you're saying like the artists who weren't on here didn't chart on Billboard at all for anything? That's not true. The ones that some of them, right?
They didn't chart. So
they didn't chart high. You ended up somewhere. So what if it was
somewhere? But I think industry achievement. So
that's
like
what I think.
Somebody to compared to like say Regina Bell. Regina Bell doesn't have as many number ones as People Bryson. And so that's where they're considering like, yes, we love Regina, but we're not going to put her on the list because we have all these other. I
absolutely understand that. I agree with that. I think, and I do respect that. I just think the second you said artists, right? One, going back to our earlier conversation, like that has to incorporate everything, because there's stories and interviews where they're like, I was sitting here and I created this and I was thinking about this and I wrote this and I put this together. Some of the vocal prowess wouldn't have been as prowess had it been created by somebody else. Like they kind of walked through a process. Like they literally, wasn't Rolling Stone? It wasn't Billboard. It was Rolling Stone that named, for example, Lauryn Hill's Miseducation, right, as the greatest album ever. She pissed all over that. She wrote all over this thing, you can't help, for example, you can't convince me like that album would have sounded the way it did had she not written.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I just can't. I wish they would have just said singers then. Like just say singers.
Well, I mean,
and I'm cool with that.
But just because someone is not a writer doesn't make them an artist?
No. I'm not excluding. I'm saying it should be an and. I'm not saying it should be an or.
I think they wanted to like make the list easier because I think with all the R&B, because first of all, they jumped the list from 35 to 75. I think that's been part of the problem, is that they know so many people.
Yeah.
They want to put everybody on the list.
Yeah.
And so for it to jump from 35 to 75 meant they remember that whoever did this 10 years ago forgot a bunch of people.
Absolutely, I understand.
Like they could have had in my mind, because I'm thinking of all these people that are not on the list, and they're finding ways to like, okay, we got to get this down to 75.
I just feel like it's a little bit of a cop out because it's like I'm not saying they have to make it a big thing, but like, come on, like they wrote this. This means something.
I hear you.
To the other piece, oh shoot, I'm definitely stoned. Where you were just talking about, oh yes, the industry, the achievements, they charted higher. I absolutely think that should be taken into consideration, and I still think there could be an argument made that some of the artists who didn't make the list have had that undeniable game-changing influence. That it wasn't the biggest Billboard charting hit, but you can't tell me that this person has not shifted the culture in ways that are now new faves who might be charting are not inspired by them. Like, you cannot negate that.
And
that's my only thing.
I agree with you, but if I'm working, if I'm Billboard, I'm saying no, we want to be the qualifier.
Right.
If I'm Billboard, I'm like, no.
Now, see, that I get.
Yes, they were great, but when you going to do the list on our magazine, you going to make sure that they got...
I know that's right. You know what? And I appreciate that. We got to stand for something to fall for everything.
Right.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. There are plenty of artists out here that didn't chart as much. They also, which is why they just said industry achievements, because they probably had people in there that didn't chart as much, or were in an era where, Billboard probably wasn't paying attention to them when they should have been. And they wanted to like pull in Grammys and all of this stuff. So that's why they just couch it in industry achievements. But at the same time, they trying to make their magazine.
True. Okay, so before we get to our list, can we just...
Can we talk about the problems we got with this list? Go for it.
Who ain't on this list? There's a few names. I'm like,
I have
what?
a few that I feel like should have been on the list.
They should have been on the 75 somewhere. Okay, so my biggest... Can I just start with my biggest one?
What?
Why is Sade not on this list?
Huh.
I have a problem. I'm ready to cancel Christmas because Sade ain't on this list. Now, I know she don't put... because the whole squad is Sade. I know they don't put out an album but for every 5 years. But baby, when they do, it literally is like there's nothing like it. Their sound, their music, their metaphors, their melodies, it's literally embedded in like a lot of work that we see now. This all smooth and mellow R&B. They've been doing this since the 80s. Like, what are we talking about? So I maybe not, and I think some of those albums, like Love Deluxe is the project that keeps coming up in my mind the most. But I could not believe I didn't see Sade on this list. It just did, out of 75. How in the hell?
Because in my mind, do I think of Sade as an R&B artist?
What?
Of course,
Sweetest Taboo.
I always think of her as like,
is it a crime, girl? That's a whole R&B song.
I know, for some reason I think of her. I've always thought of her as like a jazz artist.
I mean, but why not? But baby,
I always thought of her as a jazz artist. But yeah, that makes sense. You're
Wore
absolutely
me
right.
out.
That makes me that you're absolutely right. I was upset that Regina Belle was not on.
How you not gonna have Regina damn Belle on there?
Regina Belle was not on here.
You got every other singer.
I did look up her charts, and she did not chart that often, and she did not have a lot of albums, so I feel like they discounted that against her. But come on, cultural influence and impact. There are generations of singers that still remember Regina Belle.
Like, period. And
from Inglewood, New Jersey.
Come on, Jersey. And Angie Stone.
Oh, Angie was not on here.
I was like, what the hell? Oh, they got every other neo-soul artist. They got music on here. Maxwell, Jill, Erica. And they should all be on there. And you ain't got the other... You ain't got no Angie Stone? You ain't got no Black Diamond?
Angie Stone was not on
I
here.
said, oh, my God.
Angie
Who has left
not.
the salt and pepper off the grits? These grits ain't got no salt and pepper on them.
Yeah, they done left the salt.
How you going to leave out Angie?
I don't know.
That didn't make no damn sense to me. Now, I want to know if you're going to name this one. Because there's one more that just knocked me on my ass that she went on this list.
Who?
Monica.
Oh, shit. Monica's not on this list.
What in the entire hell?
Is Brandy on here?
Yes,
Brandy is on
Brandy
here, but Monica is
but
not.
Monica's not. Ashanti is on here. No offense, Ashanti.
First of all, that's my number one problem. How is Ashanti on this list?
And-
How?
Baby, she has some stringer hits.
How is Regina Bell not on here, but Ashanti
Ashanti
is? Your first criteria was vocal prowess. Ma'am.
Like, I love me some Aaliyah, but no, Monica, you have made up everything.
No.
Check this out. You got Aaliyah over Brandy. Yeah. They got Aaliyah over Brandy. You done played in my entire face.
There's so much going on.
That really hurt me because I'm like, Monica, I remember, right? Brandy was for the proper girls.
Mm-hmm.
And they've talked about this too. But Monica felt like your little sister who's sitting on the street but was cleaned up, right? Not like she sang from her chest where, like Brandy was like, it was all very cute. It was all very lovely. And Monica was like, it's just one of them days.
Just one of them days. Girl.
Like, how Monica not on this list? I was like, you know what? I love you, Billboard, but you from hell right now.
With that little short, white, chunky heel.
How is that not iconic? The chunky heel is iconic.
We remember all of that because she was singing her little heart out.
So those are like really my three big ones that I could not believe.
I could not believe they were not on there. I want to talk about who is on here that I was like, I need this.
Okay, so who was on the list that did not need to be on this list for you?
We already mentioned Ashanti. I didn't need Ashanti.
Did not. Ashanti could have been she could be 76.
Yeah.
I would have taken her 76.
I would have taken her down near the 76.
I would have taken 76. Who else?
I get it. I get that he was important to music and he had all these contributions.
Oh, the Demon?
But I don't need Robert Kelly on here.
See, okay.
I don't need it.
Okay.
They handled it well. They did write in his snippet around like the hits, the things that he did, and his allegations, his charges, and how all of that has tinted his legacy musically and difficult for people to listen to. I'm glad they addressed it. Glad they said it.
They should have.
They also said, but it would be remiss of us to not recognize his impact.
My problem is you think his impact is top 10 worthy, and I honestly don't. Even if, and I'm going to put it out there real easy, like it doesn't even matter. Like, no, it does matter. His salacious, hellish behavior aside for a second, if I'm talking about what I felt like his game-changing influence is that it's kind of like the reduction that they tried to make Little Kim. Little Kim made it easy to talk about sex and hip-hop. That, to me, is a reduction of Kim's influence and impact on the music. Yes, that was a part of it, but I would always argue it was the easiest part. Selling sex in anything is very, very easy. Mm-hmm. Robert just took out the metaphors that have been prevalent in R&B music up into that, right? You have from the OJs to the Stylistics to Levert to Guy, everybody's writing in early Babyface. They're writing songs metaphorically, right? We're still talking about this. He just made it more candid. To me, that is not game-changing. That's just easy. Because that's also to say, like, we as R&B artists were so blocked off from, candid and very promiscuous music. We had Grace Jones and Millie Jackson. There were tons of people who were out here selling all types of sex in such a way that it still felt a bit redeemable. He just said, F that and I don't care. And to me, it wasn't that. So if I just look at that alone, right? Okay, is it a shift? Sure. Is it game-changing? I think Bobby hit a lot of that before it even got to Robert.
I don't know if it was game-changing. That might be the weak point. But you do have to recognize Robert's music and the cultural impact at the time.
I do. I don't think it's top 10 worthy. I don't think he should have been in the top 10.
Well, I don't know. Because like that huge, I'm not caping for Robert.
I know you're not, and that's why I want to stop because I know you're not riding for that fool.
I'm not caping for Robert.
No.
And But I can see where the writers are coming from, like logistically, numbers wise. They're like,
absolutely.
yeah, there was literally a time when everything sounded like R. Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just think that if he would have been in the top 15,
I would have been fine.
I'd have been fine.
I get he needs to be on this list. I didn't need him in the top 10. I agree with you.
That's it. That's where I'm at with that.
Okay, so I didn't need Chris Brown. I didn't need Chris here.
You know, I didn't mind.
I didn't need him on the list.
At all? You don't think he's in the top 75?
For the same reason I don't need Robert, I don't need Chris.
I am with you.
They got him in, at least they got him down here in like 25. I could have.
Honestly, I think he could have been a bit lower for
had him
me.
In the 50s.
He could have been, because you got to me, you got like Jill Scott, Jasmine Sullivan, Natalie Cole. We got Rick James in the 50s, and I'm like, to have them to be that low under Chris Brown don't make sense to me.
I got a issue with one person that is, people may argue she's not supposed to be on this list, but her impact to R&B music is undeniable.
Ooh,
Missy. I mean, yeah, she calls herself a rapper. She's hip hop, but a lot of Missy's music changed what R&B sounded like. And you can say a lot of her songs are not R&B.
You can't.
With a splash.
What's that? I was just listening to While You All in My Grill, can you pay my bill? You're right, because I think if we think about Lauren's work, it is very much.
If Lauren is on here,
true.
Why isn't
that
Missy
is a great point. Why isn't Missy even considered?
Why is Missy not on here?
At least because we're talking top 75.
Yeah, top 75.
So I think Chris definitely should have been lower. Missy definitely was missing from here.
I could have done without a Robert and put a Missy in here.
That's true. Is Jennifer Hudson on here? I know I saw Tay Tay. I know Taja's on here.
Jennifer Hudson is not.
Which
on this list.
It could come down to maybe the body of work.
Probably. I think that's what it is.
It could be the body of work.
I think that's what it is. Okay, so.
All right, I'm cool then.
Here's my major issue.
Yeah. Your major issue.
I have a major issue.
What's your major issue?
All right. So I did a full flow chart because I like a good chart and research.
He do, y'all. This boy like a good what you
and
got?
I wanted to get a good tally of how many men and how many women were on this list. And
no, I like this. Keep going.
This list was celebrating Black Music Month.
Black Music Month.
So I wanted to make sure how many Black people were on this list. Like, this better be predominantly Black. I can safely say only one white person was on this list.
And we stand for her.
And we all know.
It's Tina Marie, ain't it?
Tina Marie.
Come on, stop playing.
Listen, we all know.
We good.
Tina was okay.
Yeah. She was always at the cookout. Matter of fact, we went to her cookout.
Tina been okay. She gonna be okay.
We good.
And she rode with us. So her politics was still.
Yeah, she rode hard with us.
Okay. I also wanted to look at where the men and the women fell. So there were slightly more men. It was a count of 40 men, 34 women. Okay. So not slightly more. That's a lot more, actually.
You said 40 to 34?
Yeah.
So 6 more men.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's actually, I find that kind of interesting.
Yeah.
We're talking R&B music. I'm not saying that the men don't show up. I've always felt R&B music was overwhelmingly, predominantly, where Black women just shine. And I think, it's interesting because I think the majority of the people that we said.
I'm sorry, it is 35. I knew that number wasn't adding up. It's 35 women.
And 41 men.
And 40 men.
And 40 men. So 5.
75.
So 5 different. That's so interesting.
So, yeah.
Because you said the staff was 8 men and 3 women?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it was 9 and 3.
9 men and 3 women.
Interesting.
So there's slightly more.
Okay.
However, it's where, if I look at the breakdown of where most of the men are populated, most of the women are populated, most of the women are populated in the bottom 30 of the list. We populate more, and more of the men are more concentrated, 18, 19, almost half of the men are in the top 20.
That is saying something.
I'm sorry, top 25.
I think that says something.
Half of the men are in the top 25.
I think that says a lot.
So half of the men that are on the list are in the top 25.
That
And only 8 women are in the top 25.
That says something.
Yeah, so I was like, why are we somehow in this deliberation, I don't know what they went through, I don't know how they did it, but somehow in this deliberation, men were scored higher on the list in their influence over women. I don't know if that's preference.
No, I also think...
I don't know if that's how the industry gave more access to men than to women.
Absolutely. Like, let's just, like, for all of their criteria and all of the factors that they used that went into this, we talk about being remiss. We cannot, if the playing field was equal, if the playing field was the same for everyone, I don't know if the men would have performed as well on these lists or had certain achievements had it not been for the dominating patriarchal society that we live in. I think we can't misjudge that, because I'm looking at the women on my top 10, and all of them have had to push past ceilings after ceiling after ceiling in ways that some of these men haven't.
I always think about, as a culture, we very easily call men geniuses more than we will women.
Yes.
We've a poorly behaving
and
man,
accept it. Yeah.
We will excuse a man's poor behavior because of his quote unquote genius. But we'll never recognize the woman that's not problematic, that is doing what that man is doing even better in the industry, and not even just say, oh, she's great.
Yes, and even down to the music that we listen to. I feel like we'll take if the woman's sorrow story. Oh, that's just great, wonderful music. And a man then writes a song about how she broke my heart or how she did me dirty. Oh, that's a great song too. I'm like, these are two. This is not equivalent.
Right.
Like, it's almost like. And I think we said this before. Some of my favorite albums by some of these R&B artists that are women, specifically the women, my favorite albums are the ones that have been the most traumatic for them, or they've experienced something so heavy that it's come out in their music in ways. I'm not saying it hasn't for the men, but it's just so interesting how we, from the point that you made about access to like what we celebrate, what we would define as excellence in music.
Like I'm like, because I think to me, I hate to harp on Robert too much, but when we talk about, like, when people talk about Robert Kelly and his career and like his genius around
quote unquote
his music, his ability to produce and create the sound and blah blah blah, and I was like, yeah, but we can say the same thing about Erykah Badu, but you keep her up there,
right?
In like 28, like Erykah been in her production bag and writes.
Like, you want to talk about ushering an entire sound.
Ushering,
like when you think about Neo Soul, you immediately think of her.
And then the body of work.
Like stop.
I don't understand how we have Erykah at 28 and Robert at like what, 9?
9? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make
to
sense
me.
to me. That doesn't make sense to me. That's not what I would have done.
Even when you see Mary J. Blige being someone, like, I get, like, because I don't think Robert's vocal prowess, to me, was that much stellar than, say, Mary J. Blige's. And you want to talk about cultural impact, like MJB.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying Robert doesn't have cultural impact, but if I had to pick somebody on those lower 20s or whatever, teens, who might have a cultural impact that could rival that, like Blige, like, stop playing in my face. Like, she should have been, if you're going to pick him, like, she should have been higher. I'm not saying top 10, but I would, like,
now,
come on.
There's one I had to struggle with.
Who's your you had a struggle bus?
I had a struggle, and I was like,
who you struggling with?
I guess they right.
Who?
But Michael.
Huh?
Michael Jackson. I was like, the king of pop?
I didn't struggle with Michael at all.
And then I had to go back, and I was like, you know what? Off the Wall is absolutely an
I
R&B
mean,
album.
you better go on now.
And I was like, okay, well, Off the Wall absolutely is an R&B album. I
it-
can't, and it's my favorite. Well, it's the only album I really like for Michael is Off the Wall. Off the Wall is my favorite.
I like
Michael
Dangerous.
album. Nah.
You don't like Remember the Time?
Mm-mm.
Remember the Time was my jam.
I love the music video, but like,
What?
yeah, I love the music video.
You don't like Remember the Time?
Not as much as it's not that I don't like it. It's not. I would prefer to listen to PYT.
I can't. You know what? Okay, I know this is a side note. I can't listen to PYT no more.
Why?
I mean, like a little bit of his sordid past. It's like it's kind of like I can't. It's kind of like I can't do
It's kind
it.
of gross to listen to Michael. Too. But
Although I
this was
listen
like,
to Human Nature is still my favorite song of his.
but Black Michael and White Michael, I think was probably
Yeah,
really
dude,
different. I don't think Black Michael was.
He's not on this list. I mean,
touching-
Black Michael.
I don't think Black Michael was touching kids. White Michael definitely was touching kids.
Oh God, okay.
I don't know if Black Michael. I don't
Okay.
think Black Michael.
So
was
only
touching
Black
kids.
Michael on this list.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's who
Well,
I
we
think
gonna
of.
we gonna put Black Michael. Oh my God, what is wrong with? Okay,
They should have put it on there, Black Michael, in parentheses,
I can't. I'm very weak right now.
or Michael Jackson, the black one,
The Black years, not the Black
in
years.
quotation,
Oh my God, the Negro years.
not
I can't-
quotations, in
in
little
parentheses. you
The
you
Black
had about a
years.
9 right now.
I'm definitely on
Okay, let's run this list.
All
All
right.
right, we're gonna,
What you got?
all right, let's just run our list. Okay,
All
so
right,
y'all,
what you
we're gonna
got?
run our list with 10
Who's
to
your
1.
number 10?
Boom, Luther Vandross.
Okay.
I had to put him. I think he should have been higher on the list. Luther is my number 9 when I think of balladeers. When I think of male balladeers, crooners, he is the blueprint. He is the archetype. Undeniable influence, in my opinion. And I think the way he sang, he was singing classic Burt Bacharach
Got you. Yep.
songs and making them love
Mhm.
songs for us. Brilliant. Luther Vandross, number 10. That's it.
So
Tell me what you got.
my 10 would be ba, 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 ya, ba, 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 ba.
Come on, mother.
Anita Baker.
I mean, Rapture album alone. Just hit play.
Okay.
Just hit play. You're right. Auntie
No one in the world.
can hold me.
No one in the world.
And what was that? You Bring Me Joy was on there too.
Yes.
My faith from beginning to end. 360. Baby. Okay. What's your favorite Anita song? Real quick. Rapture. You said rap. You started with Rapture. Ba, 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 ba. That's caught up in the Rapture.
No, not that one. From beginning
Two
to
and
end.
three, yes.
365
Mine is
days
Body
a
and
year.
Soul. I will always love that song.
Oh yeah,
She ate on that
Body
one.
So
Okay.
yeah. Did you know what? Do you remember what Rapture was about? Did you know what Rapture is about?
What the hell? What you about to tell me? You about to give me some tea? What is Rapture about, girl? Why are you laughing already?
What do you don't know what Rapture is about?
It's not about an orgasm?
It is about an orgasm.
okay, that's
yes,
what I
yes.
thought.
It's about an orgasm.
That's what I was talking about when we were talking about Robert. You see
I
the
thought it-
metaphors
I-
and innuendos?
I thought it was about being in love until somebody was like, "No, that's an orgasm in the beginning."
Yeah. Not an orgasm in the beginning. She said that's what you want to aim for.
Yes.
If you don't sound like me when you having sex, you're not having it right.
Okay.
Okay, number 9.
You do your number.
Oh, number 9, Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye.
Marvin Gaye.
Okay, I see that.
I think he's a great crooner. I loved his voice. I loved his talent. I loved his legacy of music, his body of work. It was soulful. It was rich. It was pushy. It was provocative. And he was smooth with it.
My number 9 was Natalie Cole.
This will be. You got so happy when we started singing that. It has to be. I think Natalie has to be up there. This will be. You and me.
Listen.
You know what's funny? And followed by that, number 8, I'm going to go with the boss, Diana Ross.
Oh, I wouldn't have Diana on there.
Oh my God. You better get out my damn face. Don't you do this. I love the
her.
boss.
I
love
I know.
her.
I know old gays love the boss.
Not
but-
old gays. Y'all ain't just not. He just called me an old gay. Girl, get my purse. I'm done.
Child, if you remember her, if I say Diana Ross Super Bowl, what you gonna say?
A helicopter?
Yeah. If I say Diana Ross Super Bowl and you say helicopter, you's an old gay.
But I also wanted to,
Girl.
you better stick it on my face. You real loud right now.
Because if I said Diana Ross and helicopter, you didn't know what the fuck I was talking about. You ain't no old gay. Okay?
But come on, but all her work with the Supremes and just like the blueprint of what like beauty and grace and like love and just like sophistication, like I live for it. Diana Ross. All right, anyway, who's your number 8? Why you giving me shit?
You go first with the
I
number
did.
8.
Diana Ross is my
Diana
number
Ross
8.
is your number 8.
Yes.
My number 8 is Shaka.
Ooh, that's a good one. Tell me something good. Bow, wow.
But they didn't consider that song.
Because it was Rufus.
Because that was Rufus.
You can go to hell, Billboard. Okay.
It was Rufus.
Then
they
only
considered their solo career.
Do you know what? Then Through the Fire should have ended it all.
Right.
Through the Fire should have ended every discussion.
Right there. Well, what they did say in the article that because they didn't talk about the groups, that meant this discussion said they need to start considering a list of the top R&B groups.
Oh, no, baby.
That is a ride.
Oh, that's going to be a ride.
Speaking of which, if y'all haven't seen on Netflix Building a Band, get your little life together and head on over there.
Yo, he just told me about it earlier today. I'm going to find it.
She is cute.
She's a cute girl.
Now, Nicole Swizzlestick.
Stop it.
Might is on there.
Nicole Schnitzelberger.
She might get on your nerves because, she a little mago over there. But Kelly Rowland is one of the judges.
When you say Kelly, it's either gonna be Price, Rowland, or Clark.
So it's about bands. So
okay,
Kelly Rowland.
So it's Kelly Rowland
and Liam Payne from One Direction. It was the last production he did before he passed away.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God. Yes. Thank you for that. Okay, number 7. You go first this time.
I'm going first this time. My number 7 was Patty.
Patti LaBelle?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody loves you, babe. You better come on with Patty. Oh. But how am I old gay and you coming up with Patty? You coming up with Patti LaBelle. Patty. But I'm an old gay. So look at you. Look at what you see. Okay, so my number 7.
Now we sitting Diana and Patty next to each other on vocal prowess. Honey, hold on.
Ooh, no, you killing me right now. You killing me right now with vocal prowess.
Be easy.
You be easy.
Be easy now.
I ain't putting them like that. Okay, number 7. Oh wait a minute. Yeah, my number 7 is I'm thinking of you. And it's millions I let you tonight. If it's wrong to love you. I got Mimi, Mariah Carey, and I'm talking specifically, you could put on her first 3 albums and walk away. Baby, like she's your favorite audition number. Like her catalog is insane. And her voice, like just cut through in the early 90s.
Because, honey, I'm not putting nobody that ain't a voice on my list. that is a me thing.
You gonna stop it right there.
You're gonna whisper in my ear all day.
So Janet Jackson gonna stay right where she is on that
Janet
list.
Jackson is not in my top.
She gonna stay on that list right where she is.
Stay right where she is.
I'm so done.
I love you, Janet.
You better go somewhere.
I love you.
Okay, all right. Number 6.
Because I love her so much. Jill Scott.
Ooh, Jilly from Philly.
I love Jill. Like Jill, what she did vocally and what she brought vocally to R&B performance.
Yes.
Just like did everything for me.
Yes.
During that time period when she, started to surface. Yes. But yes.
Her that first album, just hit play. Mm-hmm. It literally just volume 1, Who is Jill Scott? Just hit play and walk.
And sit down. Sit on
it's
right
so
down.
Good. It is so good. I get chills thinking about that song. I'm going to come in at number 6 with Beyonce. I'm actually putting her right here.
Okay.
And I think, I know we've talked about her. She's not done.
You said number 6?
She's number 6 for me.
6, yeah.
And I really think about that cultural influence. I think about her vocal prowess. Y'all can say what y'all want about her, but from stage to screen, that when that mic is on and it's hot, that voice is oily and it's sick. And it's just great. I just love her entire body of work, and she's not done yet. But I think the people that I put above her, it makes sense. And I would like to even think that if she heard this, that she would think like, yo, those top 5 make more
that makes sense.
So that's why I got B.
So I have B as 5.
Women, who's your 6? Did you do 6?
I did 6 already. Didn't we just do 6?
No, we did.
I went first on 6.
Who? No, you did first on 7 because you said Shaka Khan.
And then I said,
and then you said
Jill.
Jill, that's right.
Jill
Okay.
is my 6.
Okay, so your 5th is B.
It's B.
Oh, I get that though, because I ain't gonna lie, I wrestled really tight with this. For number 5, I have Prince.
Okay, he's not in my top 10 at all.
I have adored. I adore
Prince.
him. I love his music, and I know he might be more famous for some of his pop heavier stuff, but all of his, like when I think of seduction as music, when I think of just metaphors, and like he used to play with poetry a lot as well too. Loved it.
I'm so sorry. It's because I'm high. I'm absolutely paying attention. But as soon as you said the word seduction, I thought of Michelle Visage.
It takes two to make a thing go right. What's wrong with you?
So if you guys,
I'm so mad.
So guys, if you don't know, Michelle Visage from RuPaul's Drag Race was a part of a famous R&B
girl group.
R&B girl group from the late 80s.
It's definitely giving me 80s.
Yeah, late 80s.
Seduction.
Yeah, Seduction.
That's hilarious. All right, number 4.
Number 4,
Mm-hmm.
I had Whitney.
We agreed. I put Whitney right there too.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
I had Whitney at 4.
Whitney should be, Nippy is everything. We love you. Stop. Full stop. All right, number 3.
I had Aretha.
Oh, that's a good one. I have Michael. I know you don't do Michael like that.
Yeah.
But I'm literally talking about like off the wall Michael. Like that was my first into. But like I had Michael at number 3. Definitely could see Retha, like, hello. Retha at number 3 for you. I had Retha at number 2 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Who's your number 2?
My number 2 is, they put her all the way down at 75, but I'm going to say Ruth Brown.
Ooh, wow. You jumped into number 2.
Yeah, Ruth is literally the female vocal architect for R&B. We wouldn't have the wailing, soulful, solo female black artist in R&B. Not blues.
Agreed.
Not jazz.
Like literally the archetype.
But in R&B, we wouldn't have it without Ruth Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ruth Brown.
And I know that she doesn't have hits for hits, but if you listen to her music and you listen to any of your
anybody
faves,
else, you know,
you're like, oh,
this style came from Ruth Brown when no one else was singing it.
Yeah.
So she would be my number 2.
Because that game-changing influence is like, you don't get no bigger than that. So I actually really respect that.
Mm-hmm. And who's your number 1?
Interestingly enough, I absolutely agree with Billboard's number 1. It is my number 1. He is my number 1. Stevie Wonder.
Absolutely.
Period.
So agreed. I kept Stevie at number 1 too.
He should.
So basically my whole problem was there was too many women in his top 10.
There was not enough women in the top 10.
I mean, there was not enough women in the top 10.
In the top 20, in my opinion.
In top 20. So my top 10, I try to get as many women in there as possible.
You know, interestingly, yes. And I think when I look at my split from my top 10, it was even. It was 5 and 5. We don't know, obviously, if like I don't think any of them openly identified as queer. Yes, we can make some arguments, but I don't want to do that. But it's interesting, as we were having this conversation, I ended up splitting. It just naturally came out the way that it was split. Because right. I knew I just kept thinking who would have more of a cultural impact versus the person I kept putting, at a lower number. So it's just interesting how it paved out that way for us. And it makes me think. I mean,
they were not out of the closet, but we have queer representation.
Yes. Like
on the list.
Yes.
More than one.
I wonder if when we talk about these lists, it just makes me think, and I'm glad you shared it. The last thing I'll say here is I love that you shared the demographic of the staffers in this, because I wonder what would be different if it was more female identifying staffers than men. I wonder if there was more queer people. That was
one of the things I really looked at it. Yeah.
The bigger question is, which we won't know, is what's
one of the writers. One of the writers is openly queer.
Oh, cool. All right, great, yeah. Right? So it just makes me wonder if the dynamics had shifted generationally, socially, or any other kind of social identifier. Would this list have stayed the same? And but what I think is great about this list And y'all really go, if you want to, like, even if you want to go read through your faves description, I think they really did a good job and was really genuinely respectful to every artist that they put on this list. But I think it opens up great conversation, right?
Yeah, I love that this is happening, what we're doing.
Yeah.
Around every time when Billboard makes these lists, because they, make a solid argument and write down all their criteria and put some things down. They put some qualified people in, but they never are like, this is the top, now come fight us.
Yeah, they don't come at that.
It's not like we are the authority and this is what we would say. This is the conversation that we enjoyed having, and this is about us also having a conversation.
Absolutely.
And completely open to, like, of course this is not objective. This is all subjective. And like, we're having this. The point is that artists that usually don't get talked about on a regular basis, there's a whole article that we get to talk about all of them. Yeah. And I love that.
And it's like, it's a great tribute to Black music.
Yeah.
It just really is.
It was good. It was good.
Yay.
What do you have anything else you want to
That's all I wanted to talk. I think I'm good today. And thanks for the recommendation, Building a Band. I'm going to go check
Building the Band on Netflix. I'm going to go watch the finale tonight with my husband. I can't wait.
Oh, my God. Boy.
I'm so excited. But they need to get rid of Nicole Swizzle-State. She don't need it. They can replace her with Michelle Visage. She was in a group.
Happy birthday to. I'd rather go with my other Michelle.
What?
Tanitra.
No,
I want Michelle Williams. Stop playing in my face. Happy birthday, Michelle.
So, what do you want to tell the people?
I want to tell the people, when you are out in the world, be good or be good at it.
And I want you to know that you are enough just as you are. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you.